I was handed a formal police summons for grand theft exactly 48 hours after driving across town to do a stranger a favor. The official state paper felt entirely surreal in my hands, the black ink printing my name right next to a felony charge. Just 3 weeks ago, my only mistake was trying to be a decent human being during a standard lunch break for my office job. I was walking past a local coffee shop downtown when I spotted a thick brown leather wallet dropped near the curb. I picked it up, checked the ID inside to see who it belonged to, and noticed a small stack of bills, exactly $300 in cash. Instead of leaving it on the pavement or turning it over to a distracted clerk behind the counter, I decided to take care of it myself. I waited until my shift ended at 5 o'clock, pulled up the address listed on the driver's license, and drove 20 minutes out of my way into an upscale suburban neighborhood. I just wanted to make sure the owner got his property back intact, knowing how devastating it feels to lose your identity and cash. When I reached the front porch of a large brick house, I knocked politely and waited. A tall, heavy-set man in his mid-40s opened the door, looking completely annoyed that his evening was being interrupted. Before I could even finish my sentence explaining where I had found his property, he reached out and snatched the leather wallet straight out of my hand with a look of pure hostility. "All of my fucking money better be there," the man growled, his voice loud and aggressive, as he immediately flipped open the bill compartment. He counted the cash with rough, shaking fingers and slammed the heavy wooden door directly in my face. I stood on his concrete porch for a long second, completely stunned by the sheer rudeness. I assumed that was the end of a bad interaction, a simple reminder that some people are just inherently miserable. But 2 days later, the flashing lights of a local precinct cruiser pulled into my driveway, and the real nightmare began. He had driven straight to the police station to file a criminal complaint against me. He told the officers that his wallet originally contained exactly $600 in cash, claiming that I had intentionally stolen $300 before bringing the rest back to his residence to look like a good Samaritan. The sheer audacity of the lie left me completely breathless. Because of the dollar amount he claimed was missing, the state classified the incident as grand larceny. I was suddenly forced to hire a defense attorney, dip into my personal savings to pay a legal retainer, and prepare for a formal court date just to protect my clean record and my career. The anxiety was suffocating, keeping me awake until 3 in the morning as I replayed the entire event, wondering how a simple act of honesty had turned into a legal battle for my freedom, which brought us directly to this morning, inside a cold, wood-paneled courtroom. The man sat at the prosecution table, wearing a sharp suit and looking entirely confident as the session began. When it was his turn to speak, he stood up, pointed a finger directly at my chest, and spoke to the judge. "This person clearly targeted my property, pocketed half the cash, and brought the wallet back to my residence to avoid suspicion," the man stated, completely unfazed by his own lie. My attorney stood up and walked over to the evidence podium. We hadn't just spent the last 2 weeks worrying, we had spent them working. My lawyer presented a flash drive containing the HD outdoor security footage from the coffee shop where the wallet was dropped, which we had legally subpoenaed. The video played on the courtroom monitor, showing the exact moment the man dropped his wallet while rushing to his car, and it showed me picking it up. Less than 2 minutes later, the camera angle was crystal clear, capturing my hands as I immediately placed the closed wallet into my jacket pocket without ever opening the cash slot or touching the interior. The timeline completely destroyed his narrative, proving that the extra $300 he claimed was missing had never been in the wallet when I found it. The judge, a stern woman with sharp gray eyes, adjusted her glasses, staring down at the man with a look of pure, icy disappointment. "Mr. Davis," the judge said, her voice dropping into a dangerous, quiet register that made the man's confident smirk instantly vanish. "The evidence shows a completely different story from the one you swore under oath. You didn't lose $600. You weaponized the police department and this courtroom to financially extort a citizen who went out of their way to help you." The judge dismissed the grand larceny charges with prejudice, ordered him to pay every single dollar of my attorney fees, and referred his file to the district attorney for a formal investigation into perjury and filing a false police report.